Hey folks, so I want to show you what that Schoology annotation application feature looks like from the student's end. So I'm in this course now as a student, the same one I showed you in the video that accompanies this. And at the bottom, you'll see the assignment. So students will click on this and open it up as with anything else. But you'll notice that on the right-hand side, they will have a button that says Start Assignment. Now, normally they would get a pop-up window that would give them all the Schoology choices to type in a response or upload a file. When they click Start Assignment, though, they get a full screen version of your document with the annotation bar appearing above it. There you go. So let's say they have two menus here. It changes the default based upon what you last touched as a user, but it starts usually with the type menu. So across here, these buttons are fairly self-explanatory. The first one allows me to highlight text in line. So again, if I just wanted to highlight, I'm just going across it like I'm about to bold some words, but it's going to leave the highlighter mark behind. Then, of course, you have underline, strike through, and a squiggly line, which is kind of cool. So when you hit the squiggle, you can do that. So I think it'd be kind of neat to say highlight the words for this reason, but put a squiggly line under them for another. That's kind of cool. Every time you select something that has the opportunity for any kind of colors or choices, you'll get 4 pre-formatted ones in these 4 colors. And each one will have a little drop-down menu where you can make some basic changes. Text obviously has the biggest one. So when you hit the drop-down menu, you can change the size of the font, bold, italics, underline, and strike through, center it, align it, and the colors. It does seem to remember those that you've made. So these 4 kind of over time will be filled with the last choices that you made. If you want to type text, you can click wherever you want a text box and type it in. And you see that it matches the T in the icon above it where I've made those choices. Then you have freehand, which is going to be very difficult to do. I'm on a touch screen now, so I'm just going to circle something. Obviously, that's pretty easy to do in that way, but difficult if you don't have a touch screen. And then you have the same thing that's called Freehand Highlighter, which again, you can change the size of it, the transparency of it, the color, and so on. So you can do the same thing. So it's, again, different from the first highlighter because I can basically draw with it. You can notice that if I try to draw a straight line, it straightened it out for me. But again, this first one, if you're doing text, is probably better because that's highlighting in a line. When you flip over to draw, you basically get those same marker features as the first 2, but then you get the ability to do shapes. So a rectangle, circle, trapezoid, and so on. So you could draw boxes around items. Again, each with those presets on the right where you can change the colors. You can fill it in with different colors as well, change the thickness of the line, and so on. Then you have the ability to do an ordinary line. You can do a polyline, which is one of those old ones we used to have back in the day where every time you click, it makes a point and lets you zigzag. I don't know that would make a lot of use out of that one. And then an arrow, which again, you can change the size of the arrow. Again, I changed this earlier. So you can see it's gigantic and it remembered that, okay? So you can have students point out different items in a document. You have an eraser to correct any of this. And up at the top, you have the ability to zoom in or out and do the basic things you can see whenever you view a PDF. If I had directions typed in where it says see more, I could click there. And while I see my document, still see the directions my teacher typed. It'll take a little bit of my screen space, so I wouldn't keep it open all the time, but it's there if I need to remind myself of the directions. When I'm done with this, I can come down to the bottom and hit submit. And just like with Google Assignments, my teacher will get my assignment submitted to them. You'll see that I've submitted the assignment. I can't change my submission, but I can see it in this view and make comments and see the comments that my teacher makes. When you as the teacher look at a student's file, you will see this toolbar, which is the same one that Schoology's had since we've gotten it. And you'll have the ability to enter a grade here if you've set it up to be graded and put any comments here. You won't have the annotation toolbar yourself when you do it because, again, you're not the student submitting the assignment. So that's the new annotation feature in Schoology. We're really excited about it as a way to streamline annotation of PDFs for the most part, and avoid one less tool that we had to download and give students access to. Thanks so much.